What's up guys, James here, and today I'm going to tell my story about why I'm so heavily tattooed. A story about self-expression, identity, but also breaking that social judgment of being gay. As many of you know, I create storytime videos and travel vlogs, so if you like that sort of content, stick around. I'm passionate about my experiences through life and encouraging others to live their authentic self. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into my tattoos. Let's start with what it was like growing up gay. In the 1990s, which is when I was growing up, being gay was a lot more taboo and a lot less accepted than what it is nowadays. To be honest, it was actually really scary. I was terrified of this stereotype of being gay, being flamboyant, overly feminine, talking in a very gay voice, or being a very specific way, wearing dresses and all that stuff that they used to think gay people did that most people don't. But it was a scary time. Even having a limp wrist meant you were gay. So of course, I was like paranoid about having a limp wrist, and I had to be like this all the time. So now, do I have a limp wrist? No, because I beat it out of myself. No, don't do it. It's scary. I was bullied throughout school because I had the Aaron Carter hairstyle where I had the curtains and I used to flick it back and it was feminine or whatever. And I got bullied and they would call me gay all the time. And what was so scary is that they were right. I was gay. But they didn't know that, because if they knew that, the bullying would have been 100 times worse. One of my friends came out in school and I just watched how he got treated, and he wasn't even super feminine or anything like that. And he was bullied and ridiculed so much that I did not want that for myself. And I felt sorry for him for going through that. But he was a lot stronger than what I was in school as well. So props to him for doing that. But yeah, I couldn't put myself out there like that. I felt like I had to hide not only a part of myself, but pretty much my whole identity. Because if I was labeled as gay, like, it would have just been awful. And I wanted to do whatever I could to not have that as part of my identity, which I know it sucks, but I just wanted to fit in. And gay was a term used for outcasts who did not fit in and did not belong in society. So I just wanted to not be labeled as gay. When I was 17, I got my first tattoo, and it's on my shoulder here. I don't know how well you guys can see that. It's not done very well because, as you can imagine, it was done in a seaside town on the beach by someone who's willing to tattoo an underage person. So despite it not being the best tattoo, it was my first tattoo. What that tattoo signifies to me is it's a band's logo, and I know that's cliche. However, there is a story to it. I used to listen to this band a lot when I was younger, and I went through a period of really hating on myself and not wanting to be here on this planet anymore. When I stopped, I got this tattoo as a reminder to myself to never go through that again, to never go into that dark place, a way to remember what that was for me and how that felt. And I think that that's a pretty damn good reason to get my first tattoo, despite what anyone thinks. It was a way to express myself, but also to not conform to societal expectations, because those expectations were also those that created the negative connotation of the word gay. So I wanted to rebel against society, but also to be able to find who I am and be able to put a stamp on myself to show that I'm not what is labeled as gay. I remember my first few tattoos were incredibly painful. The one on my stomach was like the third tattoo I ever got. And that one, oh my gosh, I don't know how I even made it. And I kind of want to get it covered up, but I just don't think I can go through that pain ever again, because from my memory, that was so intense and brutal. Like, I just don't wanted to go through that. That being said, that with each tattoo I got, I started to develop more confidence. I started to feel more who I am. I kind of used my tattoos as a form of an armor against being condemned into being a specific thing that I had such a negative connotation with. And they brought so much more confidence to myself by having tattoos. It was like an armor. There's the best way I can describe it. It's like wearing a mask in public, giving me a weird sense of anonymity, especially at a younger age. This was my mindset. Nowadays, not so much. Like, I'm not so insecure about who I am, and I've learned to accept myself a lot more. But definitely in those earlier years, it was something that really helped me get through life. It helped me get through what I was going through as a kid. It's probably a big part of the reason why I'm still here, believe it or not. That may sound stupid, but yeah, like, they really helped me. And my tattoos are like a tapestry of my life on my skin. For instance, the one on my chest here, this one I got in Cambodia on a beach. I lived there for 4 months. It was a great time in my life, and it was a very reflective time as well. And this tattoo, I remember that now. And yeah, okay, a photograph could do it too, but this is always with me. It's a conversation starter and I love it. Similarly with this tattoo here, this one I got in Peru. I was in Peru for 6 weeks. I got this tattoo in Cuzco, which is the gateway to Machu Picchu, from a local Peruvian artist. It's a Peruvian sacrificial knife, and it really embodies that trip for me, which was life-changing. My tattoos, they all tell such a different story and such a pivotal time in my life that I think that it's so cool to be able to have that. I would say that if you are going to ask someone about their tattoos, such as my tattoos, be prepared to hear the answer, because some of them definitely have a darker past. Like I say, the one that's the band on my shoulder, that one has a bit of a darker twist to it. And I'm not just going to say, oh, I like this band and just leave it at that. Like, I'm going to tell you the reason why my tattoos are there. In the future, if you ever ask anyone about their tattoos, just be prepared for what they could say. They may say, I just like that design, it was cool and I felt like getting it. Or there may be something behind it, behind the reason why they got it. And it might be something that you don't know if you can hear. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking about tattoos with other people and what they signify. My tattoos have helped me to embrace who I am. They definitely are a reflection of who I am, what I've been through in life. They make me feel safer in a world that is still homophobic. I know it sounds crazy, but there's still so much homophobia out there, and my tattoos kind of act as a defense against that. I love my tattoos. I think they're great. The designs are awesome, and they give me so much more security in my day-to-day life, and I feel so much more comfortable having them. Ironically, now that I'm posting my storytime videos and stuff, people are finding my videos. People have the idea and the audacity to be able to comment on my videos saying that I shouldn't have tattoos, or that I shouldn't get any more tattoos, and that they're ugly and they're negative. I don't understand how anyone thinks that they can just pop onto someone's video and comment about their appearance, whether it's tattoos or not. Like, to me, I just find it so fascinating that you clicked on my video, listened to my story, yet feel the most important takeaway is the fact that I have tattoos and you don't like them. I'd like to let you know that my tattoos are for me, they're not for you. If you don't like them, that's okay, that's your opinion. But maybe there's some things that you could work on, such as your online bullying and telling people that you don't like the way that they look because of what they've got on their skin. So if you think that I'm a cool person, but you don't like my tattoos, like, that says more about you than it says about me. And maybe you should think about the way that you judge someone with tattoos, because they're not for you, they're for the person. And if you don't like it, I mean, sorry, but I'm not made for you. I'm made for me, I'm made to express me, and yeah, I just wanted to clear that up because I've seen a few comments and bro, I don't care. Maybe you should work on yourself and work on your shit. My tattoos have helped me through so much of my life, and they're probably the reason why I'm still here. And the fact that you think you can come in here and comment on my tattoos and tell me that they're bad, like, bro, okay, sure. You keep thinking that. However, if you are here and you are enjoying this story and you do have a little think about my tattoos and you don't like them that much, maybe you should think about why. Think about my stories and that you like my stories. So why do my tattoos make you not like me as much? Like, who knows? Maybe you could do a little bit of soul searching. I'm happy to talk about my tattoos and why I got them. Obviously, I've made a video about it. And maybe you can open your mind to realizing that tattooed people are actually pretty cool. Everyone that I've met that has tons of tattoos are the nicest people I've ever met. My tattoo artists, they've got full face tattoos, they've got their eyes blacked out, and they're so nice. They have, you know, animals and pets that they care for every day and they love and they're so proud of. They have their family and their friends and the people around them and their communities, and they do anything they can to help anyone. And they're just artists expressing themselves. I've met plenty of people who don't have tattoos, who are the most judgmental people, who condemn people for a way that they're living in their life because it doesn't suit their standards and stuff. So I really think that that narrative needs to get reevaluated, because people who don't follow social norms are generally seem to be more accepting of people. That is so important. So I think, you know, maybe do a little bit of soul searching if you're not tattooed, and understand that we're actually open-minded and pretty cool. One thing I absolutely love about being tattooed is that when I meet people and they have no tattoos or they're curious and they ask me, it's a conversation starter. Like, it breaks that ice of what do we talk about or how's your day going? And it really brings to life a conversation, and you get to relate to people on a different level. This tattoo on my arm here, this one is like a really dark moment in my past. And if somebody asks me about it and I tell them about it, it really helps to open up that conversation to something that I went through, and also maybe they've been through and unable to talk about because they don't know how. And it gives us a way to open up that line of communication, which is so cool. And they get to talk about something that they've probably never talked about. And it's so amazing to give people the space to be able to open up and talk about something that they can relate to, but don't know how to talk about it. I know there's still a huge stigma around tattoos, and there's still a long way to go when it comes to acceptance. But I think now, like, 90% of people have at least one tattoo. I don't think that it's anything like what it used to be. So that's great. We're moving forward as a society, and we just have to learn that tattooed people are just as cool as non-tattooed people. Like, it's cool. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's just a freedom of expression, and it doesn't make the person a bad person for having tattoos. They're not a degenerate. I'd love to know if you guys have any tattoos and what you think of tattoos. Please drop it in the comments below. If you love them, if you hate them, let me know. But don't just say, I don't like your tattoos. Express why. I want to know why you might not like them, or why you do like. Is there offensive about my tattoos versus what is there not offensive? Like, I really would love to know why you feel the way you feel about tattoos and what that means to you as a person. I think that would be really interesting, actually. So yeah, drop me a comment. If you don't like tattoos, if you don't like my tattoos, drop me a comment, but tell me why. Don't just say, I don't like your tattoos, they're ugly, whatever. You shouldn't have tattoos because you would look better without them. Like, cool, okay, that's your opinion. But why don't you like them? Like, tell me. I'm curious. You know, my tattoos are similar to why I created my clothing brand, because it's a way to put myself out there, but not in such a literal societal way, basically. So within the clothing brand, I created my own language, which is on all of our t-shirts and everything that we sell. And it's a way for a queer community to start to communicate amongst each other, but in a way that isn't rainbows and butterflies and pride wear, but also you can wear it in day-to-day wear. It's just like a normal t-shirt. It's nothing out there crazy. Look at me, I'm a raging, flaming, like, oh my God. Like, you can wear it no matter who you are, and know that if somebody spots it and identifies it, then they know that you're part of that community, or you accept that community. And it's so important, especially in this day and age, as we're still continuing to grow and develop. And it's like an homage to the handkerchief code. I'm just so proud of it, because as someone that's gay and petrified of expressing myself in a public setting in a straight world, I love that I've created something that's going to be able to be accepted no matter where you are, and people will be curious to it but not have any idea unless they know what the brand is. And it's just such a cool way to acknowledge each other and create a community in a world that excludes queer people. And I just think that's so cool. So anyway, I'm so proud of that, and I really feel like my tattoos are my armor, but then my clothing brand is a way to accept and build that community, which I love. I hope that by watching this video that you're going to think twice about judging someone for their tattoos or their designs or anything like that, and have an open mind and be curious to it. If this story did resonate with you, don't forget to hit subscribe and like this video, because it does help my channel to grow, and I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you watching as well. It means a lot to me. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope you have a great night. All right, see you guys.